The Fab Four, the ultimate tribute, are coming to Columbia County PAC this Sunday, December 10th.
That's right. They will be performing the Beatles' Rubber Soul in its entirety, as well as a vast selection of the band's greatest hits. We got the chance to speak with Artie Saraf, who plays Paul McCartney. Check it out. All right, big night of music Sunday at the Columbia County PAC. It is the Fab Four, and we have Mr. Paul McCartney himself, a.k.a. Artie Saraf, here joining us. I know, look behind you, make sure, okay. Thanks for joining us, Artie. Good to see you.
You too. Good morning.
Absolutely. This is a great thing. I mean, people obviously are familiar with the Fab Four and everything, but what can people expect from this show, from the Fab Four?
Well, generally, we basically come out and do a 2-hour show with just the hits, all the hits. But this particular time, we've been doing the Rubber Soul album for the last 2 months. And because a lot of our promoters and some of the theaters said, hey, you guys have been coming through here for many, many years. Let's try something new. And they said, well, Rubber Soul would be a good one. We said, sure, we'll do it. So the first half of the show is the entire Rubber Soul album, right, front to back. And then we continue in the second half of the show after an intermission with the later Beatles, Sgt. Pepper, Hey Jude, all that other stuff.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
So it's hard to beat. It's hard to beat.
No, it's hard to beat, yes. And you're talking to two Beatles fans here. Tell us how the Fab Four tribute show was conceived.
Well, we're all big Beatle fans, like millions of other people around the world. And we basically got together at a Beatle convention in Los Angeles many years ago. And we decided to put a band together. And at that point, I was a right-handed bass guitar player. And I said, well, if we're going to make it the Fab Four, the ultimate tribute to the Beatles, I better buy myself and teach myself how to play that bass right there, left-handed Hofner bass, like Paul McCartney. So that's what we did. And everything we do is perform live by the four of us on stage. We tackle stuff like Day in the Life and Strawberry Fields with just four guys on stage. We sing everything, we play everything, and that's kind of our forte. I think that's what gives us our reputation.
Being a guy that plays at playing, how difficult was that to learn from playing right-handed to switching around and doing left?
It's one of these things.
Yeah, okay, well, forget that. I'm out.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, it took a few months to really one at a time, very patient, but you have to want to do it, right? You have to want to do it. And part of the look of the Beatles is George and Paul on the microphone like that, with their guitars going that way. And so it's just part of the look. And that's the other thing. We do makeup. We do theatrical makeup. We all wear wigs to make the hair, as the Beatles progressed, their hair got longer. Right. So we do a little bit of everything. We're actors, musicians, linguists, because we have to try to do a Scouse accent, which is the Liverpool accent from where the Beatles are from. So it goes from this to, well, I don't really know about that guitar. It's not my guitar, but it's pretty close to my guitar.
Oh, my God.
I mean,
that's pretty good.
So, thank you. Well, I hope so. After this many years, I better be good.
Well, along to that point, when you're talking about the makeup and the hair and the wigs and stuff, obviously you've got to work with the right gear and too. What goes into setting up that whole look? I mean, it takes some time to gather it all together.
It sure does. I mean, we've invested for many, many years, all the guitars, all the proper guitars, all the proper outfits, most of the outfits are all custom made. So, and they're not cheap. So, but they last a long time. You invest in it. It's part of your job. I mean, we almost don't even consider this a job. It's one of the best things we can ever do, playing the greatest music ever that we think, and going around the whole world and playing it for all these sorts of people, little kids, older people that were with the Beatles originally, and now with the resurgence of, the reissues of Beatle albums again and the new Beatles song Now and Then, there's always a resurgence that happens every few years. Right. And we just always want to pay respect and with love and attention to detail. That's what we really always try to do.
And yeah, you have played around the world as Paul in such places as Japan, Guam, Puerto Rico, to name a few, and has appeared on the stage with Bruce Springsteen and so many other artists. How was this experience of playing Paul been for you?
It's been amazing. We've met a lot, like you just mentioned. Some of my heroes I got a chance to be on stage and play with. It's a dream come true, really. I mean, all of us have done original music when we were younger. Certain things don't work out when you have original music. You either hit it or you don't.
Right.
And we gravitated to this because we're all big Beatle fans. So it's amazing. You know, Australia, Japan, China. Hopefully we'll get out to Europe a little bit more next year. Next year will be the 60th anniversary of the Beatles landing here in the States. So it's going to be another big Beatle year, you know, in terms of that whole nostalgia. So it's just amazing. It's great to travel so many different cultures. But in Japan, let's say, they don't speak the language, but they'll sing it phonetically. So it'll be like, she rubs you, yeah. It almost sounds like she rubs you, yeah, yeah, yeah. But that's what they do. They love the music, you know, and they do it as best they can. And it's just amazing that it translates.
It truly is universal, and you're about to add Evans to that long list of famous places, right? This Sunday, Columbia County Performing Arts Center, showtime at 7:30, and it is the Fab Four and Paul McCartney, again, right here with us, Artie Saraf. Artie, we appreciate you. Bring that bass, and we'll see you here on Sunday, okay?
All right. Thanks very much, everybody. Have a great one. Thank you.